What's up, guys? Welcome back from the MLG Studios here in New York City. I'm Axel Toss, joined by Axlab, and we're about to jump into the last match of the day. Of course, it's been an awesome day so far. Hopefully, you guys have been enjoying the matches. I know I have. Hopefully, Nick has.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. Of course.
StarCraft. How can you not enjoy
I know.
StarCraft?
That's so true. That is so true. StarCraft, an amazing game. Guys, spread the word of StarCraft and esports. Tell your mom to stop making dinner. Okay, to finish making dinner and then come watch StarCraft.
Oh, you can put it up while you're making dinner. Have a TV.
Is the technology there yet?
Yeah.
Okay, you can do that. Let's go ahead and get into the game. Of course.
That's what I do when I cook.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great way to do
my
it.
laptop on the
Nick
counter.
with the best suggestion. Don't spill anything on it, man. I know you always spill your whiskey on stuff.
That's true. Only if it's cheap whiskey.
But yeah, guys, for some updates on scheduling, of course, this is going to be the last round of the day. We'll be continuing to cast these matches tomorrow and over the upcoming week. So be sure to tune in every single day and hang out with us because we're having fun, and we hope you guys are having fun too. Of course, the stream is twitch.tv/WCS_America. It's also available on Team Liquid. You can find a link there. You can follow me and Nick on Twitter if you please. I'm twitter.com/AxelToss. He's at ISAxLab. Usually we'll tweet before we go live. But yeah, guys, thank you all for watching. If you've been watching from the beginning, a special shout out to you because you are awesome. But let's go ahead and introduce the players. Looks like we were following Nick's camera. I thought we were on ours or mine. I guess it doesn't matter.
I think we've been going back and forth with that, huh?
All right, so bottom right-hand location of the last match of the night, we got the red Protoss player from Team Axiom. He is Crank. His opponent in the top left-hand location, the blue Terran player from Team Quantic. He is Apocalypse. Of course, he's taken down, I think he took down Heart earlier?
Yes. He took down Heart. And you know what? Before we get into more of his accolades, because he's a great player, one thing that we should note is he went gas first. He went gas before Barracks, followed by Reactor. This is a really interesting build. Is this going to be like a Reactor Marine Widowmine pressure?
All right, let me look at this.
Wait, a second Barrack? Who goes gas first into 2 racks?
What if he's just like doing the Reactor Tech Lab 2 racks push?
But you don't go gas first. Like, he has all this gas, right? He went gas first.
Oh, wow, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he went gas before Barracks.
Okay, what if he incorporates a factory into this push?
I'm so confused. It could be.
Schmarines.
You know, wait, maybe the gas was a mind game play. Crank scouted gas first with the probe, right? Because he saw the Barracks time. He saw how much gas in mind. He knew it was gas first. So Crank is thinking, oh, no. Oh, it was gas first. We can build up a lot of gas to get Reapers off of 1 gas.
Oh.
This is so crazy. This is crazy.
Call me maybe. All right, 2 Reapers on the way here from Apocalypse.
Is he going to get a second reactor? Or no, I think it's going to be naked, so 3 Reapers at a time. He only has 1 gas.
He's expanding pretty fast, but he is getting that much core out. That's very helpful.
Marines.
In defending against Reapers.
I'm so confused.
Dude, just watch Apocalypse and enjoy.
So this is a
don't try to think too much about Apocalypse's play. Just let it unfold and then think about it, and then I think we'll know the answer.
This is awesome.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Crank's playing standard.
I feel like I know a lot about Apocalypse.
All right.
So I'm going to tell a little story.
You've got 15 seconds before I got to talk about Reapers.
Okay, so... Oh my gosh, so much pressure. All right, Apocalypse used to be teamless in Korea, and then Quantic actually picked him up. Quantic actually flew him out to a couple events in the States, and that's how he started getting some exposure. Apocalypse was actually one of the first Koreans recruited to Team Quantic Gaming. And 15 seconds are up, so Nick, go ahead.
All right, so the Reapers snuck around the back of the Nexus without being spotted, getting into the mineral line. They're getting 1 probe killed. They've got to get more than that, though. No, just 1, but they're going to get out of there. No. Oh, one of them dies, and that's very unfortunate. A really interesting 2 Reaper opening. I'm not convinced on its merit, because he did sacrifice economy. Remember, he went gas first, delaying the orbital, delaying his own expansion. Unclear. Mothership core is on the scouting pattern. But the other thing is he did get the fast reactor, which is allowing him to crank out a ton of Marines. This is going to be a very fast stim timing. This is a fast stim pack, guys. Stim pack is normally not going to finish. This will finish at the 8-minute mark. Stim pack normally isn't finished by the 8-minute mark, and normally does not this many Marines at a 6:30 mark. And I don't think Crank has any idea. Like, he's as confused.
He's trying to figure it out, man. He's sending that mothership.
He saw gas first, and he's just like, what? There's no factory? There's what? He probably thinks there is a factory.
Pretty bizarre play here from Apocalypse. We'll see if it works. And now I think we're going to see a timing that we talked about before. A medevac-less bio push with Stim.
Definitely.
And potentially +1. Is he going to wait for +1?
No.
I mean, it's not going to finish too far. Well, he still has to wait a bit.
He's got
Yeah,
another
he's
100
gonna
seconds on that. He can't afford to wait too long because if he waited for that, there's a potential if Crank went for a really fast Colossus that it would be on time. That would end the push. And also the sentries get more energy.
Only 2 sentries.
Yeah. This push, it's really about force fields. So you want to hit as fast as possible. Like I said, your 8-minute mark is going to be when Stim is. Oh, the Observer sees it.
Yeah. It does,
Observer
but
sees
how
it.
much more can you react at this point? I mean, what he should do, I
He's got a
think,
Chrono
is
Boost warp
poke
gates
forward,
probably.
try
No.
to bait out some
confident.
force fields. Oh, Boat's on overcharge, already going down here.
Yeah.
Taking
Gets
down
the
a
Reaper.
Reaper. All right.
And that's going to force Apocalypse back. He's going to try to outweight it. So it's a timing that never happened.
You don't think he can swing back in there once that photon overcharge is gone?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, I think the Mothership will have enough energy for a second one. By then
Yeah, and
anyway.
even if it didn't, there'd be enough warp ins by Crank. Well, actually, he's not building units, so.
Starting on upgrades, going to the Twilight Council.
Yeah, is he?
He might feel safe.
Yeah, he feels safe.
I think
He's
he feels
not.
safe.
He's just not warping the units. He's spending instead his money on teching. Oh, but he's moving out here. He doesn't realize. Does he realize Stim is done now? Because you got to be so careful
Maybe
moving out.
Apocalypse can kind of bait him forward and be like,
Yeah.
"Oop-de-doo, I don't have Stim, la la la."
Because normally they don't have. Well, 9 minutes is okay. Maybe there's not have Stim.
Yeah.
The 8-minute mark was when he really caught him off guard.
Yeah.
So Photon Overcharge is done. There's no Photon Overcharge, but there could be another one.
He can force field behind the Marines. The Stim is going down. The force field's going down as well. The Sentry's getting targeted down by the Marines, trying to kite away a little bit of a hole in those force fields.
Yeah.
Not terrible. Not
That was a really
terrible
interesting trade.
Apocalypse.
Very even resource-wise, which I think Apocalypse means he's ahead because he lost the 2 Reapers early.
Yeah.
So actually, that battle he traded efficiently, and he got rid of a lot of the Sentry energy, right? Forced some more Sentry warp-ins. And that's going to mean any pressure he does later in the game, or any battles, he'll be in a better position because there'll be less force fields. And especially if a Protoss is going for Colossus, the force fields are extremely important to prevent the bio from closing the distance.
All right, we see scan.
Oh, he sees the double forge.
He's double forge.
I think he should suspect Colossi tech, given the amount of units he's seen and the timings of the forges and everything. I think he suspect. It's most likely that's what it is. If it was, going for Templar, it would have been a higher gateway count.
So obviously the tricky part as we enter the mid game is identifying, okay, how many Colossi is my opponent going to? How much is he committing toward the Colossi tech? Are we going to see any quick transition out of my opponent? Are there going to be openings for drops anywhere? What are the vulnerabilities of my Protoss opponent? And right now, Crank working on Thermal Lance. He's probably going to make more than 1 Colossus. We're not going to see that 1 Colossus and switch to Templar play. Going up to 2-2 straight away. So really prioritizing those upgrades. And Apocalypse, if he's not careful, he might fall behind in the upgrades.
He is. He's getting to Armory and 2nd Engineering Bay right now. He's trying to spread out the Marines, but great force fields and a time warp.
That
Marines are being massacred.
I think that was the anti-time for Apocalypse, hitting right when that Colossus pops out. Force fields are true. Time warp is great. Blake is done on the Stalkers. That medevac is taken out. And Crank is going to be very happy with that exchange.
Yeah, I think Apocalypse needed to wait for about a 4 medevac timing if he had any to try to hit before range finished. But there really wasn't a timing there. Like you said, it just didn't happen. He does know about the Colossi tech now.
Yeah.
So he's starting to get the Viking range upgrade. Or not range, attack.
Attack.
Whatever you call it. Makes their ranged weapons stronger. So I'm going to call it.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Concussive shells on the way as well.
And he's had this third on the field for a while.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's not significantly ahead of Cranks. And for TVP, you really want your third to be ahead of the Protosses. So I think everything's going well for Crank. Apocalypse, though, he's got some drops, 1 on each side.
Oh gosh, we might have to do...
Oh, but there's observers.
Yeah, I want to see how many observers. I'm already intrigued. 3 observers here for
And look
Crank.
at the vision from Crank. They're really well spread out. He's actually gonna catch all these.
He's gonna spot this medevac at the bottom. Also one just out of the range of that observer.
So he's going into third. If nothing into third over here quite yet. Stalkers will blink down. The natural has a cannon. That drop is deflected, but he forces. He didn't lose anything, right? This drop got away. Just took a little bit of damage. Lost some Marine or 2. This drop actually has got, I think, two probe kills for 2 Marines. A lot of lost mine time. So I would say that was a success.
Yeah.
I mean, not gonna win the game by that, but definitely,
And looking back at upgrades, we got 2-2 underway here from Apocalypse, about 50% of the way done, but Crank starting right into the 3C3, so really trying to maintain that upgrade advantage. But Apocalypse, look at these SCVs, man. He has 72 Harvesters to the 60 of Crank, so his economy is going to be roaring. And I'm wondering, let's see.
Oh, there's a Templar
I
Archives.
don't know what kind of timings are available here for Apocalypse.
He max timing right before Storm finishes within an SCV pool.
Yes.
Except I don't think of the Viking count.
And
So
I don't
there's
know if
one
Akalon
StarCraft.
Wastes is the best
Yeah, it's
for
not
that.
like that, but I don't really know if he has any really good times to try to end the game early. Oh, nice little speed medevac scout. That
Oh,
was
the
kinda
medevac saying
cute.
getting out of here.
He needs to kill these observers though, is for sure. It's so like right there, you know, Crank already knows about this drop because it's so important to kill observers as a Terran
Just
player.
identifying them is...
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. There goes a drop in a third. It's a distraction. Crank recalls to the third.
Oh,
Well,
no.
he recalls to the third. The main army strikes in from the back.
If he can just target the Nexus,
Yeah,
the High Temple Archives is there too.
Oh, that's even more important, I think. Actually, he's going to try to get
He takes
both.
it down in a second, and he can just lift and try to jet out of
Oh,
here.
with Blink, though, he's got to be careful. If his army gets annihilated, it won't be worth it. Get out of there.
All right.
Apocalypse run.
Where's the blink?
Oh, and the rally units just walked to their death. The Vikings all died.
Okay, so he takes down the Nexus, takes down the High Temple Archives, but lost quite a few bio.
Let's check out the units lost. So he's behind in the units lost. If he didn't get out with these two dropships,
It would have been terrible.
yeah, it would have been. I mean, Crank had almost just won the game with the counter.
Counter.
As it is, though, these drops are going to pose a counter threat. So if Crank just tried to cross the map, these two medevacs here could come back in and kill that Nexus again.
He's going to rebuild that High Templar Archives right away, rebuilding his natural expansion. Again, the good news is 3-3 is about to finish for him.
And you know what? Killing that High Templar Archives actually might have opened up a potential timing before Storm. Because now, of course,
Yes.
it storms substantially later. The second starport was added in, so he's going to get a lot more Viking production going on. Of course, he needs to rebuild his medevac count as well. I think he's at 5 now. He probably could be a little bit higher than that.
Let's have a 4th CC, which is a little bit interesting to me.
He's going to do an SCV pool.
Yeah,
He's going to wait.
wants
though.
to win this right here, right now.
Yeah. He'll probably wait about another minute, then he'll pull SCVs, or maybe about 40 seconds.
To get until he's maxed, essentially.
Yeah,
Get a
he just
bunch
wants
of
to hit
Vikings.
when Storm's like halfway done or something.
And Storm hasn't even been started, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
The Archons are actually being made. So,
maybe Crank anticipates this type of move.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to use those resources if he knows a giant pool's coming. More unit speed rally. Actually, there's a ghost.
Ghost
are being
reactors.
built.
So,
yeah.
in 3-3, I don't see him
Maybe
hitting
he's-
before that's done. I don't see him pulling SCVs
yeah.
before 3-3 is done.
Maybe he's
but-
just going to try to play a longer game. But an attack into the natural. It's exposed. Probe's going down. Goes on
Gosh.
overcharge is not going to stop that whole army. And then while distraction, another army comes in here. Oh, but Crank was ready for that one.
Kind of backing up, trying to pull those Protoss units into that choke point, kiting away with Marines and Marauders again. Crank has 3-3, Apocalypse doesn't yet. He's going to back away. Crank doing a
The
great job
Vikings.
holding this off so far.
Yeah, all the Vikings got killed. The drop got pushed back. I think Apocalypse maybe overextended when he tried to push through that choke into the third base.
Yeah, he's going to be kiting away. Now, Crank going for a counterattack knows that no drops are necessarily going to be available for his opponents. They're going to be free.
So many Vikings and medevacs.
Yeah. I think Crank...
I don't know.
Wait.
He doesn't have a proxy pylon, so he can't reinforce this. And once those zealots die,
Gosh.
the important units are going to be vulnerable.
SCVs falling everywhere. Again, Marines and Marauders on the high ground trying to come back down. Medevacs returning to heal up these Marines and Marauders.
Needs
Breaking
more
and cutting
zealots
back
in
great
front. Oh.
force fields.
Great, yeah, exactly. He knew exactly when to pull back before he started losing these Archons, these Colossi, these hard-to-replace units. And that was a great fight for Crank. Pulled back at the perfect moment. And all he's got to do is just play a deny the fourth game from here. I think he's ahead enough.
He's got to start Storm, right?
I don't think so.
No,
He doesn't have to, no.
just-
If you're ahead enough in macro, you can just jam units down the Terran's throat.
Yeah.
If Apocalypse gets the fourth base up, then he'll have the economy to really remax and get ghosts and stuff.
Right.
Then we'd have to play a late game with Storm. But as it is right now, I think he could literally just focus on never letting Apocalypse get a fourth, because Apocalypse's main is mined out, and his natural, especially with these mules, it's about to be mined out. When he's only on one base, that's where you can just use your overwhelming economic advantage that he has, not necessarily from the
he's
worker
moving
count.
his command center from his main to his fourth.
Yeah, I like that. Great play there. Great play. And Crank either has to deny this or go for Storm, or he might be in a tough spot to win in the late game.
But again, we're talking about a map like Akalon Wastes, where if you're
that's
trying
tough
to
to
go
deny.
right, if you're trying to go deny that, you're having to make yourself very vulnerable, going through this choke point,
Yeah.
and potentially allowing for a flank to go down. A medevac
maybe
to be jetting into the
If you want to deny a base on Akalon Waste, and they're on 4 bases, right? The way to do it, I think he's going to defend that well, is you need to hold the position in front of their lower ramp, and then you send some units into this base here.
Yes.
And then, of course, they have to come down to fight you, and then you'll fight in a good position.
It's basically exactly what Apocalypse was doing, you know, to ultimately take down the Nexus, force the recall there from Crank. But Crank put up a serious fight considering he lost that natural expansion. He lost the High Templar Archives, making the proper adjustments, holding off that push from Apocalypse. But now it's going to be his goal to do exactly what Apocalypse was trying to do in denying this base, at least one of these bases, so that he can pull ahead economically.
He's got a much larger army right now on the field, but Apocalypse has 3-3. Apocalypse has a lot of medevacs and a good number of ghosts as well.
Only 3 Vikings, though, against 3 Colossus.
Yeah, he needs more Vikings. He really needs more Vikings.
10 medevacs is good, but I feel like if I wish 4 of those medevacs were Vikings.
You know what, though? Versus this many Archons, if he lands the EMPs just right and his Archons pop, I can see this battle going either way. It's going to be all about micro and positioning.
Yeah, you got to split up the units as far apart as possible to minimize the effectiveness of the Thermal Lance Colossus. Ghost coming forward, looking for those EMPs. There's the Guardian Shield. The Stalkers blanket to the side, targeting down the Vikings. EMPs blanketing on top of the Protoss army as well, but still plenty of Archons with plenty of energy. The Colossi reigning supreme from above. The Vikings are gone, and I think Crank might be able to get it done. He's up 147 to 83 supply. Apocalypse running out of real estate to work with, running out of units as well, and Crank is going to crush Apocalypse in this engagement. And there's the GG from Apocalypse. Crank takes a game number 1, but not an easy game 1 by any means.
No, that was a very back and forth game. Both players had moments where they looked in control. It was Crank who turned it on and then with that massive macro advantage.
Very impressive play from both players, to be honest. I felt like that could have gone either way. Again, a small decision here, a small decision there can really make a big difference in StarCraft 2. So guys, that concludes game number 1 of this best of 3. Again, this is a double elimination 512 person bracket. We're getting pretty far along in the winner's bracket. The winner of this will advance to the next round, and the loser will drop down to the lower bracket. Again, Crank is up 1-0. He's 1 win away from getting to that next round. Stay tuned. Game 2 coming up.